I just got denied a job from Target. I have a fucking bachelor's degree.
A pilot got on here and said, hey, it's hard for me to find a job. A pilot.
Today I asked ChatGPT how many jobs it thinks I need to apply to get a offer. It said 120.
When the job market got this bad, because what do you mean? I've applied to over 1,000 jobs and have yet to hear back from any of them.
Okay, retail, okay? The highest she can pay me is $12.58. That's a combo from McDonald's.
I got a job offer, 20 hours a week, $16 an hour. 5 months after I started that job, the entire company shut down.
I interviewed with this place once, twice, 3 times. I show up to the last interview. Nobody shows up. I was ghosted.
You want to do a phone interview? I said, yeah, let's do it. They said 2:15 work. I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. Let's do it. That's awesome. 2:14 rolls around. They filled the position.
The economy is so bad right now. Like, I genuinely have been struggling to find the words to kind of describe like what I'm seeing. And I think anyone else who works in the helping profession, who's people facing, and you work with like a wide range of people, you can really see that it's hitting everyone from pretty much every background. It's just really, really bad. I know people who have been unemployed for well over a year. I know people who've been unemployed going on a year. It's really bad. And I've seen people like making jokes and stuff about Spirit Airlines shutting down. But the reality is that's like, it says 17,000 because Spirit has 17,000 employees. But I saw someone else saying like they actually work for a printing company and their client is Spirit Airlines. So like this is going to ripple out. I'm going to say conservatively that it's going to be at least 20K people in the job market, an already struggling job market. There's no growth in the job market.
So now my question is, what do we do? The breaking point means that everything, as it's been getting more expensive, has now collectively gotten too expensive. So that it's not just people kind of getting behind on things. We're like from the point of no return where like there is no catching up anymore. Nobody can tell me I need to go work 80 hours a week doing something because I'm still getting now outpaced by the price of gas, electric, food. What are we supposed to do? Like this genuine human me to you, like what are we supposed to actually do? Because unfortunately right now, as most people are, they don't.
All right, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak B'dash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And peace and salutations select between the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, with sincerity, truth, and with charity. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, which the world ignorantly calls God. Ba'ashem means in the name of. And Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Son, which the world ignorantly calls JC. His true name is Yahweh Shai. And once again, this will be another edifying lesson. And job market is collapsing. Right, you're seeing the job market collapsing, but you're seeing the curses on these go on to these Edomites. Right, you're seeing the curses being flipped over because Jake had to deal with these curses for the longest period of time. Right now, you're seeing these curses go on to our enemies. Right, now you're your everyday Edomite. You're seeing all these Edomites on the streets, homeless people, right, crackheads. Now they can't get jobs, right? Let's bring out the scripture. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 25, verse 7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Right, so we're seeing that now. Like I said earlier, you're seeing these Edomites there. A lot of them are living in their cars now. They're becoming homeless. They're becoming crackheads. You see a lot of these Edomites. They're on this these different zombie drugs like what's it called, Trink, right? What's it called? They'd be eating, you see their flesh coming out of their bodies. They'd be eating their own hands or biting their own arms off. You're seeing these different, Edomite CEOs, different, a lot of these people, they're taking the easy way out, right? Or, they're killing themselves, or they're going bankrupt, right? It's because these curses, they're basically falling on these people, right? And these curses, they're falling on these people, right? In their own kingdom, right? Because this is Esau's kingdom, right? And even in his own kingdom where it's supposed to benefit him, now you're seeing, the downfall of his kingdom, right? Where now you're seeing, his women's leaving him, right? You're seeing, these different Edomites there. They're basically, their own family members are turning against each other, right? You're seeing, these Edomites, there's no more spirit of traveling anymore, right? Spirit Airlines just shut down, right? And a lot of these Edomites, they're starting, well, when things get back to normal, or there is going to be no fucking normal for you people. There's not going to be no normal. It's gonna only get worse for you people, right?
At risk of collapse or other major companies due to this energy shock.
Well, don't forget that the Spirit Airlines was Chapter 11 twice because they basically didn't have a business model that was working. That's right. And the other airlines are still operating. I just flew out here to discuss these matters at the Milken Conference in LA, on United Airlines, and the other airlines are operating. What they've done, because they have thought ahead way more than the management of Spirit, is hedge their jet fuel purchases and so on, so that short-term energy shocks.
And you see that woman, she asked this guy, are there other companies at risk of a collapse, right? And this guy basically just dodged the question, because these devils, they want to live in deniability, right? They want to live in their fantasy world, right? That whole fantasy of American dream, you're gonna have a white picket fence, a penthouse, right? You're gonna have all these family, a big family, one big family, and you're gonna have your barbecue grill, all that bullshit. That shit's out of the window, bro. Right? Because these curses are going on these people now. They want to live in deniability, but this is what's gonna happen to these people, bro. Right? This is a book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 16. It says, "Cursed shalt thou be in the field." Slaki, let me read it again. "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kine and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out." Right? So what these different Edomites, their they're harvesting stores, different, agricultural businesses, they think they're going to reap, a certain amount of crop each year. Now it's, since now these curses are going on them, they're only, reaping, half the amount, even less the amount, right? They're going bankrupt, right? They have all these, different types of businesses, right? Like the brother Kadash from GMS Chicago, he said, basically these Edomites, they have different flower businesses, different agricultural businesses, right? And all these things are going bankrupt, right? Different just all these the people are canceling their memberships for different gym memberships, right? Now your job market's so trash. Now people are quitting on your jobs, right? So their stores are shutting down, right? You had what is it? I don't know. What was it? A town in Pennsylvania? I know it was some sort of town, can't remember exactly. The electric bill was damn near $1,000 a month, anywhere from $600 $1,000 a month. Costing more than the rent of the shop itself, right? So these different Edomites, they're trying to, they're taking money out of their life savings just for them to just keep their store open. Now they're in the negative. They're not even profiting anymore. They're in the negative, right? So these people, they're fucked, bro. That's how you know these curses. That's how you know these curses are falling on our enemy, right? And even if you see on Instagram and these things like that, these different Edomites, they're living a good life, or they're living on different penthouses or yachts, or even those people, they're feeling the squeeze, and if not already, they will feel the squeeze, right? It's gonna get so bad for these people, bro. But fuck these people, right? It's gonna good, because you fucking deserve it. Right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 11. It says, wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. Right? And you're seeing these Edomites, they built their lands, different estates, different properties, different companies. They built them off of basically vanity, deceitful ways, taking advantage of people, right? And I know this because I've literally, had work experiences with these same people. They steal your shit, right? They try to take money from you, right? Try to go behind your back, try to try to what's the word? They basically try to do the bare minimum work and still get paid. Right, or not do any work at all, and then still try to count the hours that they work. Right, it's called a hireling. Right, they don't do the part of their job. They want you to do your job, but not their job. Right, what else? They just on a broader picture, right? These Edomites, they this whole country, America, Babylon the Great, was founded on bloodshed, right? Let's bring that out. Bear with me out. This is Habakkuk 2:12. It says, woe to the one who builds a town with bloodshed and establishes a town with injustice. Right? And who's that speaking about? Esau Edom, the so-called white man that he basically took first. First of all, he founded America off of slavery of the Southern Kingdom, right? You so-called Negroes, right? You so-called Haitians, Jamaicans, and then on top of that, the Northern Kingdom, right? Gad, Reuben, right? Zebulon, Issachar, etc. You basically you were getting raped longer and on top of that, they put your ass to work too. They put your ass to work too, and they what's that called? The Trail of Tears. They for you Gadites, you Reubenites, they took your land, learned from you, right? You helped this guy thinking he was gonna benefit you in the long run. Then he pushes you out of your own land, says fuck you. You can go over there, right? They lynched you, killed your children, right? Did all sorts of wicked things, bro. Raped you. That's why ultimately, the Northern Kingdom looks different, because the Northern Kingdom, has been getting raped for longer, right? So, I'm going to read it again. It says, woe to him who builds a town with bloodshed and establishes a town with injustice, right? So ultimately, now the Lord, he's getting payback, right? Because these people, they had it in their mind where they would, they would be here for the long run, right? There's another scripture on that. These people, they believe their inward thought. They believe this kingdom is going to go on forever, which is not, right? Their kingdom is coming to an end. This is Psalms 49:11. It says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their land after their own names, right? And what you see, Esau, he has all these different streets, different buildings after his own name, right? You got what else? You got different continents, Africa, right? The Americas, right? So they call these different things after their own names, right? And what else we got? Let's bring this out. Second Ezra 6:9, it says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it thou followeth." Right? So we know that Esau, this is the end of his world, bro. Now you're seeing the end of this devil's world. You're seeing this job market collapse, right? You're seeing the curse is being falling upon him, right? You're seeing his women leaving him, right? You're seeing his his whole demeanor is changing. He's crashing out, so you're seeing the curses fall upon our enemies, right? And ultimately you're seeing the downfall of his society, right? That's all I have to say. You're going to see this job market real soon. It's going to get even worse for these people. You see the whole economy. You're going to see the whole economy get worse for these people, right? I have one more precept actually. There shall be sedition among men. Yeah, 2 Ezra 15 verse 16. "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Right, so you're seeing that now. People are people are basically not paying their bills anymore. Right, they're saying fuck our politicians, our world leaders, different celebrities, right? And soon people are going to be killing each other out here, right? For the lack of bread, right? For great tribulation, right? It's going to get really bad out here for these people. But for the elect, right? We're basically we're seeing the downfall of our enemies right now, right? And the Lord, He's going to provide for us, right? So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakak Badesh, and double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and salutations to elect, continuing to feed the sheep of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Shalom.